Hi everyone, welcome to another A to B Model Railways shop update video, our second for the month of November 2025. Now in this video we're going to have a showcase of some of the new products that have come into shop over the last week or so, since the last video. We're going to have an update on our project layout, part 2 of the layout challenge update. And we're also going to take a closer look at one of the Backburn winter announcements that we sort of glossed over in the last video. Now, before I do that though, I've got to comment on something that's happened in the last sort of couple of days. You might notice I'm looking a little bit tired this morning. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. It's 8:25, Sunday the 16th of November. I'm about to head off to the shop and I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take to get me there. Because last night on social media, Derbyshire County Council announced they're going to close a portion of the A6 from the traffic lights at the bottom of Cromford Hill towards Matlock Bath to a point, I think, just beyond the Masson Mill shopping village for at least a week. Now, this is because they've identified some trees overhanging the A6 on private land as being potential dangerous. One of them did come down on Friday in Storm Claudia, to be fair. So they've got to remove a portion of these trees. And in order to get the plant and the people on there to do the work, they've got to close the road in both directions. Now, I'm not disputing the fact that this work obviously needs to take place. But to make this announcement and giving us just 12 hours notice is not great, is it? Because what it's done is to cut Matlock Bath and Matlock as well, to be fair, off from Derby and everywhere to the south, because the A6 is really, apart from the trains, it's the only route in from the south. And they've done that on a Sunday. Now, if anyone knows sort of Matlock Bath, this time of the year, it's quiet. Schools are back in, we're out of the season. And it's the weekend that we really rely on to make our money. So to close on a Sunday is a real kick in the teeth, because potentially if it's going to take a week, we could lose trading today and next weekend as well as the whole of the week. So it's going to have a massive impact on my business and a lot of other neighbouring businesses, to be fair. And of course, there's been no suggestion they're going to give us any help or compensation. I don't suppose for a second they are. It's frustrating because November always seems to throw these things up. I shouldn't be surprised really, because this is the 8th November I've done now. And over the years, I've had all kinds of problems and challenges through the month of November. A few years ago, I had about flooding in the area where that exact point they're closing right now was flooded and cut off. We had to close on the Friday. We could just about pass it on the Saturday. I saw 4 people. And then, although it was reopened after that, Google Maps said it was closed for an entire 2 weeks. So we had precious little trade. November was decimated. 1 November, of course, we're closed for the whole month because of COVID. We've had another one where flood and snow has caused closures last year. Didn't take a lot of money then as well. So it's happened a lot. And I think the frustration is I've had a really good start to the month. First week of November, I took more than the entire flood hit month. And I was going really well up until this point. So this has been a real setback. And I worry because, of course, at the end of the month, I've got bills to pay like everybody else. And I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to the shop. I don't know what trade's going to be like. I shall be getting in touch with the council tomorrow to see what they're going to do for us. But I suspect it'll be nothing. So I didn't sleep a lot last night because I'm really, really quite worried. But I have to keep going. So our winter opening hours have kicked in now. We're opening every Tuesday from 11 till 4. That's slightly reduced hours. Every Thursday, Friday and Saturday, 10:30 till 5 and 10 till 4 on Sunday. Now, for this upcoming week from the 16th of November, there may be the odd occasion where I do decide to close the shop in midweek. I will put that out on our socials if that does happen. But I am intending to open for the entire month, the entire week. So I'm going to head off to the shop. We'll see how long it takes me. And while I do that, let's take a look at those new shop arrivals. So I hope those new products prove of interest. The new Bachmann 08 looks fantastic, and the Airfix starter sets, they're one of our best sellers, so we seem to be restocking them all the time. Well, here I am. I've made it to Matlock Bath. It took me about 45 minutes this morning to drive from my house in South Derbyshire round the diversion to get to the car park. 45 minutes is about standard for me at the moment during the week, but on a Sunday morning I probably expect to do it in about 35 minutes. So it's probably added about 10 minutes to my journey. Matlock Bath pretty quiet this morning when I arrived, but at that time on a Sunday morning it's not uncommon for the place to be quiet. One or two people walking around. I've had about 6 or 7 through the door since I opened the doors, well, just under an hour ago now. Nobody's actually spent any money yet, but again, that's par for the course. It tends to pick up during the day, so we'll see how we go. But I wanted to bring you an update on our project layout. So as you know, I've been trying to revive my Scottish branch line layout that was part built to go here on display in the window behind me as part of my Christmas display. Things have been a little bit slow in the last week or so, but my day away from the shop yesterday saw me make some real progress. Now, not quite as much progress as I'd hoped, because the winter back seam which I ordered has been delayed, so that sort of rather governed what I could do. I've probably done some things out of order to make some progress with the time allowed. I've got about 2 weeks left to go. The first thing I did was to work on the low relief factory building, which is going to fit in the corner. Now, it's got an open entrance, and I felt that that was going to cause me a problem when I put the back seam behind it, because you could see the back seam through the door arch. So I wanted to create a new doorway in keeping with the idea of the factory. I dug in my garage and I found an old copy of Hornby magazine which had got a free kit from Scale Scenes. It was a low relief warehouse building, and I cut out fairly roughly one of the doors from the kit, and I've glued it onto a piece of just corrugated cardboard from a broken up box, and this has been sellotaped to the back of the low relief building, which when we put it in place looks okay. So it's about 11:10 here in Matlock Bath, and you normally start to expect it to be picking up right now, but as you can see, it isn't. It's pretty dead out there. Not many people around, which is what I feared would happen. You know, if you can't get direct to the place, it's going to put you off coming, isn't it? So I'm really expecting a quiet day. I hope I'm wrong, but it's not looking good right now. Anyway, back to the layout project. I hope you liked the way the factory building's come out. I'm pretty pleased with it. Yeah, the cutting on the doorway wasn't particularly accurate, but I've hidden it away by sort of putting it on that card and hiding it behind the sort of the building part of the factory, so it looks all right. I'm really pleased with it. Next job was to replace those two points, so to put the new left hand point in place. That was pinned down and I actually broke the Y point when I was trying to refit it, so I had to put a new one of those on as well. And then to put it, or to blend it in with the rest of the track, I needed to weather those 2 points as well. So what I used was something that I can buy, or you can buy here in the shop. I have featured it in a previous video, and it's one of these. It's a Woodland Scenics weathering pen. Works just like a highlighter, and really easy to use. So let's take a look. So to use these pens, the first thing to do is to give it a shake, and then to use a scrap piece of card or paper and to press the nib down onto the paper a few times to get the paint flowing and to moisten the tip. Once this is done, you can use it like a highlighter pen. Press the nib down and drawing across the sleepers in the way you would use a highlighter pen. You can see the paint coming through and weathering the sleepers quite effectively. Work down the middle of the track and then down the outside, using the edges to give a nice weathered effect. So it's about 1 o'clock, and as you can see, it's still pretty dead out there. I've had a few people through the door, but I would say it's about 50% of what I would expect by this time on a Sunday, and I've taken £5. It's not really worth me being here, is it? Hopefully it'll pick up. Afternoons are usually better than the mornings, so I might be worrying over nothing, but at the moment I don't think so. I've seen lots of pictures on social media of the plant in place down at the A6, and sort of people who've been down there have said that they're making really good progress with the trees already, so fingers crossed. It won't take the week they suggest it's going to take, but we'll wait and see. I shall still be contacting the council in the morning to see what they're going to do. Anyway, nothing's happened to disprove my concerns about what the impact's going to be on the business as a result of this closure. But back to the layout. So once the track had been laid and weathered, attention turned to the scenery. In this picture you'll see the cutting on the right hand side of the board, and you'll see it's very different tones to the left hand side and the right hand side embankment. The cutting was formed by covering the layer of plaster bandage with underlay, or hanging basket liner, I should say. That was used to form the grass work. And then on the left hand side, I covered it with a layer of static grass to add some sort of tones and sort of shades to the embankment to make it look more authentic. Didn't get round to doing the front bit, so that was the first job on that area. I purchased some WW Scenics layering spray, and this was sprayed over the top of the hanging basket liner. And then from a Gauge Master puffer bottle, some Woodland Scenics 4mm static grass was laid over the top, or squoze out from the bottle over the top of the hanging basket liner. So next up, thoughts turned towards adding some of the snow effects. This was applied in pretty much the same way. The WW Scenics layering spray was sprayed over the top of the previous scenery, and then the puffer bottle was used to add 2mm WW Scenics snow static effect. This was applied all over the area in front of the factory building, and later the effect was also applied to the roof on the factory itself and to the ballast at the front of the layout. We also worked on the cutting on the opposite side of the layout later in the day, and the effects can be seen in these photographs. So that's where I've got to on the layout so far. Doing the snow in the scenery ahead of the back scenes might seem a bit of a backwards way of doing it, but on a limited timescale I need to try and get things moving. Now I have had an alert the back scene's due to arrive sort of tomorrow or Tuesday, so With a bit of luck in the next update video, I'll have got the back scene on. I'll be moving on with some more of the scenery, and I can give you another update as we move towards that deadline, which is now just 2 weeks away. I want to have it in the window in 2 weeks' time, so time is definitely ticking. Now it's just gone 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've reached the end of the day, and I have to say I probably feel like I've dodged a bit of a bullet this afternoon, because things did pick up a little bit, which is why I've not sort of run any more updates through the video, because I got a little bit busier with people coming through. It's still not amazing. I mean, I think the footfall is probably around about 35-45% down on what I would expect on a Sunday at this time of year. Take-ins probably about 45-50% down on what I'd expect. So not great, but I have edged into 3 figures or more. So I always say if I can do that, I'm satisfied enough. It's not been great, but I've done something. I think between about 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock probably was the time it got quite busy, and then as the light started to drift away, it died off again really quickly. I think those people who did take the diversion, because it's quite country roads, have probably decided they want to head for home a little bit earlier than they would normally do. So trade did sort of die off around about 3 o'clock, although I had a few people in just before 4 when I wanted to close, and I made a small sale at that point. So overall, not too bad. I'd call it the sort of equivalent of a wet Sunday, and it's not been wet today. So it certainly had an impact, the road closures. Coming up in the week, don't expect trade to really be great through the week. Never usually is, and with the road closures on top of that, I'd be surprised if I take anything on Tuesday, but we shall see. I am intending to open from 11 a.m. through to 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Check our socials though for any changes to that. One of my reps is coming up anyway, so if he's still coming, I rather feel I've got to come anyway. We're going to finish this video by taking a look at one of the models that form part of the Bachmann winter announcements. Now, I covered these in the last video, but I sort of glossed over this particular model, and it's the EFE Rail EMU Class 313. We actually have had quite a few shows of interest for this particular model, particularly the Network Rail livery one. So I just thought I'd take a little time to give you some more information on it. These new EFE Rail models come fitted with a cordless motor powering both bogies in the centre car. That's the centre carriage of the EMU, which is an interesting idea, because I think traditional models of the DMUs and EMUs have always had the motor in one end. You have a power car, the carriage, and then a dummy car at the opposite end. But this has the motor in the centre, which means you've got no issue of one end powering the entire train, sort of pulling it in one direction and pushing it in the other. The motor's in the centre. Close coupling on either ends of the centre vehicle with conductive couplings will aid pickup throughout the whole unit as well. So it looks like it's a really revolutionary and interesting mechanism that Bachmann are using. The model is designed to work on curves of second radius or greater, so suits traditional train set models as well, and working on the inner circuits. And there's a host of separately fitted detailed parts and an intricately detailed pantograph, which can be manually raised up and down according to your desire. Directional lighting includes illuminated headcode and destination panels, and there's also cab lighting and high intensity headlights where applicable for the model. Passenger saloon lighting and door interlock lights are included, controllable via DCC. Talking of DCC, there's a Plux 22 DCC socket, allowing just one decoder required per unit, and it's pre-fitted with speakers to allow users to fit their own sound decoder if they wish. There are multiple livery details and multiple livery options for this particular model. Now, we covered these in the previous video. Our popular one, as we've heard already, is the Network Rail yellow liveried version, which is catalogue number E81009. And we've already had some inquiries and orders for that. There are also a blue and grey version, catalogue number 1001 and E81002, if I can get my words out. 2 Network Southeast models, catalogue numbers ending 003 and 004. And we've also got Southern Coastway, catalogue number ending 005. Silverlink Metro, catalogue number ending 006. West Anglian Great Northern Purple, catalogue number ending 007. And for Scottish modellers, we've got a Strathclyde Carman and Cream model, which is catalogue number ending 011, and ScotRail Saltire livery, catalogue number 012. There's also a Transclyde blue and grey version included, and you can see the full range of livery options available on our website. Now, we are taking pre-orders for them at the moment, so if you want to head to our website, www.a2bmodelrailways.co.uk, then you can find them on there. The models all have a recommended retail price of £349.95, and you can order them from us for £307. And for the rest of November, they are included in our pre-order offer, so you can get a free static grass or scatter mystery bundle worth at least £15 sent out to you when you place your order. So, I hope those EFE Rail models sound of interest to you. Check out our website, www.a2bmodelrailways.co.uk. You'll find them on the homepage or in the EFE Rail diesel section if you want to place your pre-orders for them. Remember, place before the end of November. We will send out one of those scenic scatter bundles to you worth at least £15 as a thank you for your order. Don't forget the Bachmann 8F, Farish Hall and Class 47s. Also, the Bachmann Class 47s are also part of that pre-order offer, valid until the end of November. So if you place them with us before the end of the month, you will be eligible for that free scenic mystery bundle sent straight out to you free of charge. So that is all we've got time for today. It is just gone 4 o'clock. I'm going to head home via the diversion. See how long it takes me this way, and it's a busier time of day. We will be back probably next week, towards the end of the week, with a further update on our challenge layout and also the usual stock update videos and so on and so forth. If you enjoyed this video, then you know what to do. Please drop a comment down below. Give us a like, subscribe to the channel for the updates and alerts when our next video comes in, and give us a share as well. Help us to spread the channel. With the challenging trade we're going to face over the next week or so, all support is very much appreciated. Right, I'm going to hit the road. Take care, stay safe, enjoy your modelling, and I shall see you soon. Bye-bye.